there," said Corio. "But it's the latest in military armament." "You amaze the hell out of me, the way you come up with jobs like this," Jordan said. "Are we still meeting my brothers in Nosito after this gun deal?" "Absolutely," said Corio. "This gun deal just gives us the money we need to set up some bigger jobs. Both your brothers are in as far as I'm concerned. We need fast guns like you Jordan brothers." He paused and added thoughtfully, "Provided you can keep them under control, that is." Jordan gave a proud smile. "Between the two of them, Grayson and Tolan have killed more men than smallpox. But they're as loyal to me as hounds. Nobody messes with the Jordans." "Good enough for me," said Corio. "Now form the men up and move them out. We'll rendezvous in a week up at Waco Pass. I'm riding on into Old Mex to make sure our buyer is ready and eager to take delivery." As Corio turned his horse, Jordan asked, "I expect you don't want to say why we're hitting the army train all the way up in the Badlands?" "You'll see why when the time comes," Corio said with a tight-lipped smile. "I think you'll like seeing how it's going to happen." He finished turning his horse and rode south along the shallow river's edge. As soon as Corio had ridden out of sight, Jordan smiled to himself. He turned his horse and rode back a few yards to where Willard Dance stood putting out the smoldering campfire with his boot. The rest of the men stood beside their readied horses. They looked on expectantly as Jordan reined his horse down. "I never seen a bunch of men run out of whiskey as quick as this," a red-faced Kansas gunman named Irish Tommy Wade said under his breath. He wore a battered derby hat and fingerless black jersey gloves. "I hope I haven't mistakenly taken up with a consortium of drunkards and malingerers." He gave a slight tip of his hat. "It's likely you may have, but I'm speaking only for myself," a former James Younger gang member named Robert Hooks replied in the same lowered voice. He gave a tip of his battered hat in return. Muffled laughter rippled across the men, then settled. "All right, everybody, listen up," said Jordan, settling the men even more. "We're riding up to Waco Pass. That's where we'll make our play. I hope you enjoyed your drinking. There'll be no more of it until we've completed our job." "Mind telling us why we're riding all the way to Waco Pass?" Tommy Wade asked. "You'll see why when the time comes," said Jordan, repeating Corio's words. "From here on, none of you separate yourselves from this group any longer than it takes to relieve yourself. If you do, you've broken our oath of secrecy. It'll be the responsibility of everybody here to shoot you dead." He looked solemnly at each of the 12 men, then added, "Is that clearly understood?" Tommy Wade leveled his battered derby hat and asked bluntly, "Do you and Corio treat all your regular men this way? Or is this just aimed at us newcomers?" Jordan turned a glance toward a gunman named Harvey Lamate. "Harv," he said. Lamate took a step away from his horse, his reins still in hand, and said loud enough for all the men to hear him, "I've been riding with Corio's Black River guerrillas since right after the war, when we got started. It's always been this way before a big job." "I'm only making sure I get the gist of things, laddie," Irish Tommy said with a curt nod. "There's no offense intended." "Nor has any offense been taken. Yet," Jordan said in a cool, even voice. Tommy Wade touched a fingerless, jersey-gloved hand to his frayed hat brim. Jordan's eyes stayed riveted on Irish Tommy Wade a moment longer, then moved across the rest of the men. "All of you came into this knowing it's not going to be a quick cash-in-hand job. When this job is over, you're going to have enough money to keep yourselves flush for a long time. But until it's over, you do as you're told. Stick close together and account for your time. We've got lawmen riding both sides of the border now, hunting down men like us. We play our cards close to our vests." Willard Dance stepped into his saddle. He turned his horse and nudged it closer.